Wokama wona moto mwaka wokama mona moto mwaka ufanu unyamano wokama salune labire abore jimiye wokama.
Good morning, and a pleasant welcome to a very, very interesting edition of the program, Straight from the Heart and Sky, 107.1. My name is Matthias Labindi. Today is the 20th day of July 2021. Let me say good morning. Good morning to our valuable Muslim brothers and sisters who are today observing the celebration, Islamic celebration. Now, when we is that celebration? Yes, it's a very, very important occasion in the lives of many Muslims, in the country, Liberia, as they go on to celebrate, another interesting, ceremony. I just want to say good morning to all of your valuable Muslim brothers and sisters. But talking about that, let's quickly look at, this morning at 8 o'clock during our talk segment, we're going to be speaking with Mr. James P. Morris. James P. Morris is the youth chair of the Alternative National Congress. Mr. Morris joins us this morning, hopefully with the Unity Party youth wing chair on the program. But also we're going to be speaking with the Lofa County former superintendent, Gelikpai Kotima. We want to find out about this whole thing about Brownie Samukai thing. We're hearing some reports from Lofa County that the people there are planning something, but I don't think what they should be planning, what they're planning, if it is something out of the law, then that is not something for us to welcome. But we hope to speak with the former superintendent of Lofa County, Mr. Gelikpai Kotima. We're also going to talk about stealing. Power showing, you know who I am, and all of that. Yes, the program is loaded this morning with too many interesting developments that you can afford to miss the conversation. We'll be right back after this break.
Action to demand Darius Dillon to return the 15K to Montserrat County and all other benefits the so-called senators promised the people of Montserrat. The CNPP will never cease to ensure that the secure tribal policy is part of our country. They'll need to be getting up. Also return the 20,000.
That's right. Wake up, Mama Liberia. Wake up to the dawning of a new day. Wake up, oh sweet, 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 sweet mother. Wake up as you've come again, as you've waken up this morning. We believe that you are going to represent us. We believe that not just you representing us, but my prayer is that your children, Mama Liberia, will work sincerely in ensuring that they bring respect to you. In the absence of Mama Liberia, I want to apologize on behalf of all of your children who are disrespecting you, who are corrupting the system, who are not doing the right things simply because this place you have taught us, you've trained us, you've brought us up in a way that where you are that gullible mother, that you don't want to discipline us at some point, but to some extent we've brought you so much disgrace. Mama, please wake up. Wake up as we cry unto you, those of us who want better for you, those of us who pray every day and night that, Mama, please, as we are waking up this morning, wake up with the mindset that my children are there, they are serving me, they are respecting me. Like grandfather used to say, small swear. So, Mama, we pray that please you do not curse us, because what we are doing to you is not fair. We're stealing from you every day. We're not representing you properly. In our deeds, in our activities, in our thoughts, we are not representing you properly. Mama, please, wake up again this morning. Mama Liberia, please wake up. And I'm just going to, at this point, ask the producers to give us one, very, very interesting Independence Day song. Let it be Q in the meantime, so that we can get back to you anytime. So that at some point, yes, before we end this segment, the first segment program, we can certainly, amuse ourselves and we all think patriotically regardless of our political line. And so let's think about Liberia. Let's think Liberia, let's grow Liberia, let's build Liberia, let's develop Liberia. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. One of our topics this morning is this particular newspaper headline: Getting brave in stealing is a question from the front page African newspaper. Getting brave in stealing. We're going to read entirely that development and give you some basic other connections and other stealings, alleged stealings that have taken place in this country, and nothing, absolutely nothing was done about it. Good morning. So I just want to quickly begin with something. You see, I don't want to waste my time on what happened between the Minister of State with our portfolio, Chokong Bui, and I think Deputy Police Director for Traffic or so. Don't even know his name. Listen, the reason why I don't want to waste my time, because this thing is all about power sharing. And other people time that the men in time, let it push their time. What? Minister Chokong Bui reportedly ordered his security men to slap, a high-ranking police officer. How is that a news to Liberia? How is that a news to Matthias? In my analysis, that's not something for me to waste my time on. Because listen, even had Minister Chokong Bui even ordered his men to beat that guy to death, nothing would have come out of it. I tell you what, you know the reason? Marvin Sako, who is the Deputy Police Inspector for Operation, was humiliated. He had gone on him. He was beaten severely at the headquarters of the CDC. What came out of it? Nothing. God is partisan thing now. So no wonder why sometimes when people say the police is a partisan police, it's just that this other officer spoke. He explained how it happened. And when they reached out to Minister Chokong Bui, OKFM particularly, I want to give that credit to OK. OK reached out to Minister Chokong Bui, and the minister said, no, the police will explain for herself. You know what that means? Anything that may explain. If he indicts me, he in trouble. If he does not accuse his own officers that were assigned with him, he's in trouble. So let the man explain his own case. Let him explain for me, let him explain for himself. That's the meaning. It's just about power sharing. So please, let us not waste our time on that development. Yeah. I just want to inform you that at 8 o'clock this morning, we're going to be speaking with Mr. James P. Morris, youth wing chair of the Alternative National Congress. Along with Mr. Morris, we're also hoping to have along with us, along with him, Mr. Lansana, who is the youth wing chair of the Unity Party. On the line, we're going to be speaking with the superintendent, the former superintendent, by the way, of Lofa County, Mr. Gilekbai Kotima, who's going to be giving us information about what are people saying in Lofa County, particularly Friends of Brownie Samoka. And this particular former superintendent is the former chair. All right, not former chair, is the current chair of the Friends of Brownie Samoka. He's the national chairman, Lofa Citizens in Solidarity with Senator-elect Brownie Samoka, Honorable Gilekbai Kotima. He joins us as well on the line this morning. Lansana Pawene Fofana is the Unity Party Youth Wing Chair. We also hope to have him here. But James P. Morris is the National Youth Chair of the Alternative National Congress. We're sure that he's going to be here this morning. So yes, let's move on to more relevant developments. Without being, insensitive to what happened to some, family heads, some people who were on board of that particular vessel that was headed to Maryland County. But I just want to ask a rhetorical question. If not a rhetorical, because obviously if I ask a rhetorical question, I don't expect an answer from you. But I want to ask you a direct question. Was it necessary for WAEC Liberia to suspend this year's WAEC because of what happened? Is a question. let us be open-minded and look at that particular thing. I listened to Mr. Boto, that is emotional. WAEC is devastated. There's no disrespect to the family members, all right, of those that were on that particular vessel. There's no disrespect to the family members. But the question is, we're talking about thousands of our children that were to sit WAEC, that are to sit WAEC this year, even introducing a new version, which is third graders taking WAEC. Was it necessary on the part of government to have suspended or consider suspension for time indefinite this year's WAEC because of that situation? Granted, yes, some other people will be emotional while conducting the WAEC and all of that, but haven't we had serious, critical national, even national security situations in the country, and we went on with our normal activities like the conduct of public tests and so on? Haven't we? Can WAEC explain to us that it was not fully prepared? That it was not fully prepared to conduct this year's WAEC, and this situation just happened, though an unfortunate situation, but it happens on the part of WAEC. It appears to be a coincidence, a coincidental act that already we were not fully prepared. We would have been exposed to the public that the test is being conducted. The test is currently going on at this point, and testing materials have not arrived in this other area and all of that. Because at that particular weekend, the 17th, was the time that the WAEC Liberia was transporting testing materials to Maryland County. Are we certain? Can we state for a fact that other counties, by the way, have received all of their testing materials? WAEC suspended for time indefinite this test. Appropriate. Let's look at it. Let's look at the human side of it, the empathetic side of it. That maybe, yes, you should be in empathy, Matthias. Let's put it so and put it so. I always like it when you disagree with me, even then when you agree with me. All right? Respectfully disagree. I like that then, even when you agree with me 100%. Because sometimes I may be falling in error. The fact that you agree with me, we're humans, we feel relaxed that yes, we're doing 100%. Was it even necessary for us to consider suspending this year's WAEC? If I mention because of what happened, does not mean that I do not express, empathy over what happened, to some of the staffers of WAEC Liberia. But can WAEC explain to us further, given the sequence of event, can we state for a fact, that maybe WAEC was not prepared entirely? Maybe WAEC Liberia was not really prepared to administer tests this year. But given that this is a human interest situation that occurred, so WAEC is not capitalizing on it, that, well, we cannot go on to conduct the test because of this thing that has happened and all of that. The people that were carrying these testing materials are not the only people that were going to conduct this test in Maryland County. I'm very sure other local educators were going to be hired to serve as supervisors, monitors for doing the test. Can we look at generally and see how many counties, by the way, received testing materials? Or WAEC is capitalizing on this particular situation because this is the only is not conducting this year's test. Again, I repeat, this is not in any way that I'm trying to be insensitive. If someone may want to put it that way, well, that's your thought, that's your opinion if you want to put it that way. So it's just a question. I'll leave it there. You're going to answer that, and we'll open the lines to hear from you. I want to read this story entirely. I see a photograph of three individuals. Let me read. This story is yesterday's edition of the Front Page Africa newspaper. But you know why? I'm going to read this particular story entirely, and you're going to listen to the lines and analysis made by the Front Page Africa newspaper and the ongoing investigation about some stealing going on in the country. Well, I better be, it's better I remain in the private sector, where even if I get abused by my bosses, I can earn just a just living, get my $5, $10, get back home. Once I can wake up in the morning, realize that my kids are in school, and my lay dryer it has red oil on it, or even agro oil on it, I believe that, yes, I'm a man. Well, I don't have to live lavishly, as a result of stealing before I'm considered as a man. For me, I don't consider men who steal in order to impress people as gentlemen. They are nothing but common criminals, and they should be treated that way. Until it can be proven that somebody stole, well, that person should be treated. We should consider these kind of accusations as, well, yeah, let us not conclude without getting further details of what actually happened with these individuals, if we must look at whatever is written in some dailies. So yeah, let's read this particular story. The headline even is very captivating. Weah-led government launches investigation into several southern wealth accumulation by junior government officials. And the headline says, "Getting brave in stealing?" It's a question. Why wouldn't our young brothers get brave in stealing? Early last week, the Youth League of the ruling coalition Congress for Democratic Change called on the government to investigate Mr. Emmanuel Porter, Assistant Minister for Logistics at the Ministry of State, for buying a luxurious car for his wife. I disagree with this one. This particular car could appear, may have appeared luxurious, but this is a defective car that the guy bought for his wife that broke down the very week, and it was parked in a garage. If it is not a damage control story, organized by Emmanuel Porter himself. Also, and energy from his post and specious acquisition of properties. The manager of the Port of Buchanan was arrested and being investigated over the alleged transfer of $200K to his overseas account. Hey God, if I want to go rely on America to go in job. They take all the money sending America. You save a year in some kind of banging library for the CEO. My chunk is straight in America. Reportedly, a bureau, a sweet country. You enter government, you enjoy life. You can stay in the private sector and still enjoy. So yeah, so let's read the story now. Yeah. It says here, last week, Assistant Minister for Logistics at the Ministry of State, James Emmanuel Porter, came under fire and the criticisms of Youth League of the ruling coalition for democratic change for popping champagne on an Audi Q7 he had bought for his wife as a birthday gift. The contention surrounded his ability to afford such a luxurious car with his meager salary. The Youth League believed there was something sinister that needed investigation. They described his action as anti-propos. Here is the statement, just a direct quote from the statement. The Revolutionary National Youth League of the Mighty Coalition for Democratic Change condemns in its strongest term, stoutest term, that's the word, stoutest term, the reckless display of wealth on the part of Assistant Minister J. Emmanuel Porter. The action of Emmanuel Porter, who couldn't afford a $2,500 USD vehicle years back, will in less than 3 years be displaying and popping champagne over a luxurious Audi Q7 vehicle, said Hassan Newland, Assistant Secretary of the CDC Youth League. The week barely ended when the news of the Director for Mines at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, Samuel T.K. Wilson, being transferred to Central Administration for reassignment as per civil service regulations. According to the ministry, the transfer is intended to revamp and clean up the artisanal and small-scale mining subsector to make it more responsive to national growth and development. However, Front Page Africa has gathered that Mr. Wilson is also being investigated by the Ministry of Justice over his acquisition of a luxurious 18-bedroom guest house in the Dupont Rural community, which has raised eyebrows over his dealings in mines sector. He is also said to be carrying out another construction on the RIA highway. But that is how the president get property now. All the B-boys won't live there. Front Page Africa has, however, not been able to verify this information, as Mr. Wilson could not be reached for comments up to press time. Front Page Africa gathered that the minister became concerned over the matter, taking into consideration that Mr. Wilson take-home pay is about US 600 and only acquired the property after his employment to that position. Mr. Wilson closed down his Facebook account immediately the news hit social media. And while the public is yet to get a comprehensive detail of the story unfolding at the Ministry of Mines and Energy, another broke out at the port of Buchanan over the weekend. The manager of the Buchanan port in Liberia was suspended for alleged financial impropriety amounting to over US $200,000. Mr. Charles de Gaulle and his chief statistician, Amara Kamara, were suspended early Friday afternoon for their alleged involvement in diverting monies intended for the government of Liberia into their personal accounts, both in the United States and Liberia, respectively. Amen. The funds, according to reports, were remittances reportedly paid by ArcelorMittal and Equatorial Palm Oil for the exportation of iron ore and palm oil out of the country via the port in Burkina Faso County. Mr. Gall and Mr. Kamara were arrested and risked off by agents of the National Security Agency, NSA, for interrogation early Friday afternoon. Though the NSA, through its director, Henrique Piercing, remains tight-lipped on the arrest and subsequent investigation of Mr. de Gaulle and Mr. Kamara, there are reports that the pair remain in the custody of the NSA. In a release issued late Friday evening under the signature of the communications director of the MPA, Malcolm Scott, the MPA confirmed the suspension of Mr. de Gaulle and Mr. Kamara. The release endorsed that the pair was suspended without pay for alleged financial impropriety. According to the release, an investigation has been launched into the matter. The management of the National Port Authority informs the public that Buchanan Port manager Mr. Charles de Gaulle and Amara Kamara, chief statistician, outstation ports, have been suspended with immediate effect without pay for alleged financial impropriety. The two employees will remain suspended until the outcome of an ongoing investigation, which they have been subjected to. The release pointed out that the actions taken against Mr. de Gaulle and Mr. Kamara are in strict adherence to the MPA's administrative acts against any of its staff who may be found punishable for acts consistent with the port's policy. Meanwhile, the MPA has vowed to release the details and findings concerning the ongoing probe and subsequent actions by the MPA management to the public, provided if you people are going to come up with the factual information. What are people saying? Can we read a few comments? Are we permitted to read out some of the comments from people commenting on this particular story? All right, yeah, we are permitted. My friend Leonard Dodo just gave me the permission from a distance. Andrew Steder, yet another issue they need to look into. Liberians who have a civil court case are forced by law to pay for an insurance bond. Yet when the insurance has to pay out, they will not pay anything. Even if you sue them for fears money for insurance companies and politicians supporting this system. James Carter said, no worry, no problem. This is sweet Liberia, where luckily for us, rampant corruption is not a crime and will never be a crime. We are very thankful to God that history speaks for itself, my people. Watch. So yesterday in my analysis, I said, how far will this story go, by the way? What will happen to Charles de Gaulle? What will happen to Amara Kamara? Nothing. MPA assuring us that it's going to come out, it's going to provide us all of the details after the investigation. That's a fallacy. It's never going to provide us the details. Because in the first place, that particular thing is a syndicate. If it is anything to go by that Charles de Gaulle actually handled 200,000 United States dollars, I'm not saying that it's immature to handle 200,000 United States dollars, but that is an organized crime. Yeah, it's not something that Charles de Gaulle will himself wake up and just take $200,000, transfer 100,000 to his United States account, to his US account, and deposit the other one. You see some of the reasons why these people are romanticizing the issue of economic crimes code? Because politicians yesterday, politicians today, politicians in the future will always steal. That's the thing about Liberia. Because some of them, they don't even trust their education they acquire. They got rid of all of the moral upbringing they got by their parents, all of the basic disciplines that were given to them by their parents. That listen, when you grow up, the only thing that you should take is what belongs to you. Yeah, do not take what belongs to other people. Yeah, please do not take what belongs to other people. If you take what belongs to other people, that's stealing. Yeah, that is stealing. So do not take what belongs to John Brown. If it is not for you, don't take it. Folks want to apologize. I'm getting the notification. Yeah, it was just a mistake that our producers put Nothing to Hide instead of in July 19 instead of straight from but if you look there, I think just a little mistake, just the caption, just the program name Nothing to Hide July 19, but below you stay straight from the heart July 2021. Yeah, we apologize for that. It's a fault on our part. We apologize. At least the issue have been discussed. Let's go on with it. Nothing is absolutely going to happen regarding this particular situation, Charles de Gaulle and thing. I respect the fact that, President George Weah and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, in fact, they've demonstrated something that they've given more young people the opportunity to serve, unlike politicians of yesteryears that accept even a PhD holder at that time. You got to get a big God. You got to state that I have a PhD, around 50, around 50. Nowadays, you have 30-year-olds having PhDs. But many of them are getting all these academic qualifications without an atom of moral discipline. I don't know how to describe them. It's a shame on our part as young people. We're given an opportunity to serve, but yet we went into these areas to steal. Is he guilty already? That's not what I'm saying. Is he the only young man that have stolen? No. This one is still alleged. NSA is still investigating. By the time we get to know that NSA maybe through some other big hands, managed to get something like 100,000 from Charles de Gaulle, or maybe 150,000 as in my beginning. The system here, it works this. We will organize this story, and you come outside and say XYZ thing. Then the MPA will do a press statement regarding this particular thing. Go free, son. We'll transfer you to somewhere, or we'll make you deputy somewhere. But we can't get you put to manage. That place too is so lucrative for you. Charles is a fine gentleman. I know Charles personally. And this is where most of the time some of the guys say, oh, Matthias, this is an open news. Don't tell me because I know Charles I should not talk about it. Please. It's an open news. What happens tomorrow? So you mean to say if Matthias enters government tomorrow, in the future I should steal? Because people who will be on the radio at the time, they know me. I'm a media person. So therefore, when I steal, they should cover me up? No, that's not the thing. We need to build a better Liberia, that young people or everyone who serves in government will come to the job with honesty, sincerity, and integrity. $200,000. Hospitals do not have even beds. 200,000. By the way, anyway, this is just something that we're just playing around. We can connect it with too many corrupt things. President Weah will not support the issue of the Economic Crimes Code because his party chairman will provide us information. It is the lawmakers that said Mobile Molu made a drunken statement. It was liquor talk. Not Mobile Molu himself, who said made a liquor statement. It was a liquor talk. That it was Buffett Chambers who organized our whole thing to say, man, you were under the influence of alcohol. That's why he made a statement he made. But when the time comes and the Economic Crimes Code comes in this country, we will still need Mobile Molu to serve as state witness to provide us information about some of the things he alleged against the president. Lastly, before opening the lines, Mr. President, you have a golden opportunity. Today, let me quickly go to this particular thing. Today, Muslims are celebrating a very great day. Mr. President, you have a golden opportunity to ensure that Muslims, even today, can observe this particular Eid Qurbat today. Mr. President, maybe I'm not reading right, but I'm not seeing anything on the examination website regarding this celebration. Mr. President, did you know that you have the power to declare today as started small. I'm not saying declare as a holiday. Because before some people think that, well, Matthias, I think you're reading the Constitution upside down. But I think to some extent, you also have the power to declare today a holiday. Maybe somebody can help me with that. But you see, let me go back to the executive mansion. Maybe somebody they just uploaded something. But I don't think I read something from the executive mansion website this morning regarding anything concerning the Muslim celebration of whatever holiday. I'm still looking at something here. President Weah sets up special committee on market maintenance. There is nothing here recognizing the celebration of this particular Muslim holiday. Mr. President, be farsighted. Don't let your supporters, the political opponent, to say to you, you are the best leader. No, that does not make you the best leader. Remember, you said to us, we're not going to judge you by the eloquence of your speeches, but we're going to judge you by the quality of the decisions you make. What decision have you made towards the fact that Muslims are observing a very important day? The executive mansion still does not have even a single line recognizing the Muslim day. Sorry, I'm not inciting. Let's have a conversation. Call us on the numbers 0777 107 221 223 0777 107 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart. We have calls on the line, guys. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on the Sky 107.1. My name is Matthias. Let's hear from this first person on the program this morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, this is Ruben Kane.
Mr. Kane, please go ahead.
Matthias, let me appreciate you this morning. But one thing I would take aside from is the issue of the gentlemen, the 9 staff or staffers of the West African Examination Council. Remember, it's troubling issue. For that, maybe you are talking about why they should cancel the entire wire. It could be, number one, wire is understaffed. I'm closer to that place. I more often do the job with them. They are understaffed. As a result, they stress everyone that has come in that area that you don't expect young people like Liberians who are just involved into that trouble. Only God will save their life. No, what to look at the human side. Nobody will be able to do anything. Even if they have gone in the other country, maybe they were there now. But it is terrible. It is dangerous. The manner and form this guy's life is going. This could be the 4th day now, if I'm not mistaken. And we are just talking about 12% out of 28, as I'm told. And we need to look at this thing. Their life is more important than what we call the text in my mind.
Okay.
Reschedule, my brother.
Okay. So that's why I say just a question I asked. I'm not saying why I should have gone ahead with the test. Thank you. Let's move on to another person. Call us on the numbers. 07777 107 221 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. Let's hear from you. Call us on those numbers. 07777 107 077 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning, Nataya.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, this is Tamba.
Mr. Tamba, please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. And I call for running for look, Nataya, I'm glad this morning that you touched the topic that has to do with the deputy.
I mean, I won't waste my time on that people team. The deputy inspector for operation at CDC headquarters, nothing came out of it. If Chokonkwi gave order to even beat somebody and bust their eye, that part of the thing, let's leave it. We got more important things in this country to discuss. Yeah. So yeah, call us back on the numbers 07777 107 077 221 223. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Good morning. All right, call us back on those numbers 07777 107 077 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program. This morning, you're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. Honorable Henry Safar is online today. Yeah, he told me yesterday he's always busy. This Henneken Nigeria thing, he's with it. So he's so much busy doing that job. Let's hear from this other person on the line. Good morning. All right, call us on the numbers 07777 107 077 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart on Sky 107.1. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning. Hello. Wow, you have to stay on the line if you call. If you want to make a point, if you really think you want to make a point, stay on the line when you call. All right. So let's hear you. Call us on those numbers 07777 107 077 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart. We've highlighted a number of developments this morning. So let's hear you. Call us on those numbers 07777 107. The thing I like about the proper defenders, when you talk about corruption in the government and they see a glaring picture of it, they wouldn't condemn it. They wouldn't call to condemn it to say, I tell you what, well, man, these guys, they're doing this and all of that. I wonder the CDC Youth League has come up with any statement regarding the report from Buchanan Grand Bassa County. But call us on those numbers 07777 107 077 221 223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. A US-based Liberian, Joseph Fambule, to fly Liberian flag at Tokyo Olympic Games. Good news, Mr. Fambule. A Fambule is to fly the Liberian flag at Tokyo Olympic Games. That's a very great news for our great country, Liberia. Let's hear you on those numbers. So we're quickly going to go for a break on this first segment of the program. You're listening to Straight from the Heart and Sky 107.1. We highlighted a number of things. I said this morning, I don't want to waste my time on talking about what happened between Chokonkwi, the Minister of State with our portfolio, and a deputy police director, traffic director. So I don't want to waste my time on it. They will handle that on a party level. We had very, very serious situation here where a deputy police inspector for operation was humiliated by folks from the CDC headquarters. He was beaten in the CDC headquarters, at the CDC headquarters, by the way, whether by partisans of the CDC or by, there is no way, by the way, that Liberty Party folks will infiltrate the CDC party headquarters and just beat on a deputy police inspector for operation and walk out of there free. That was obviously, carried out by some uncontrollable, angry seditionists who beat on the police deputy police inspector for operation at that time, Mr. Marvin Sacco. Now, waking up to the news, in fact, listening to the news last evening about what transpired between Mr. Minister of State with our portfolio, Chokong B, and another deputy police for traffic. For me, I don't think that's a relevant news. I'm saying it in passing because I don't want us to give it credence. We're talking about lives lost, at a boat wreck, and so let's look at that. Vessel wreck, let's look at that. Let's talk about corruption at Buchanan Port. That's more interesting. Reported corruption at Buchanan Port in the tune of $200,000. Reportedly stolen by some of our young brothers. Now, I know right now some of them are saying generational envy. All I think about talking about generational envy. Some of you guys who utter these kind of statements, you have no idea how some of us were brought up. To say that someone envies you because they did analysis on you and you in the news now. I listened, the first time I heard a particular statement, I heard it from my own sister from the whole community, Mamesi Kaba, who said generational envy. And the first time I heard that, she was probably responding to some other, young people who maybe immediately government came to power, maybe they were attacking some other young people and thing, they took that thing, generational envy. But some of you guys, even your action is a clear demonstration of generational envy. That you are in position, you don't want to serve with honesty. You are the one now envying your generation. Envying so much so that, ego, when I leave this particular place, I don't want no other person to take this place. No other young man should be given this opportunity. That will happen because of your action. You see, let me steal. Let me destroy the name of other young people. That as long as I can steal here and get out of this place, no young man will be trusted with this particular position. And even some of the elders are not even trustworthy. Some of them are corruption king Kongs. They steal, they lie, they cheat, they do all sort of things simply because they want to fear a monk. And we want to build Liberia. We want to build this country. Let me tell you, for the war, economic crimes going to come into this country anytime soon is going to be really, really, really difficult. Because, like I said, politicians yesterday, from Joseph Jenkins Roberts' days till now, there has been corrupt politicians. The number is just increasing. Maybe yesterday we had 10 politicians stealing from government. Right now, that number has increased to more than 10 or 20 persons. So the issue of war crimes, when it comes here, you will see fathers who are making mockery of poor people in their communities because of government job they've gotten. You will see some of them they will wear orange suit and they'll be paraded in the streets of this country. You see this minister, why? He's not the person he says he is. He pretends to be honest. He pretends to be educated, but he's not really educated. He's a corrupt individual. We're taking a break. But by the way, before that, we're just going to join the Voice of America when we take our break. I just want to squeeze in one more person. Call us on the numbers 0777-777-107, 0777-221-223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. You're listening to Straight from the Heart and Sky 107.1. Congratulations to NEMO Young Political Leadership Program as you've received US 14K grant from Osiwa. And Mr. Eddie Jawolo, you're doing a wonderful job for the young people of this country. We hope that those young people that you are training, like Melias Z. Sharif, who is a graduate of that particular program, I think 18th, cycle 18 or so, we hope that all of your products will enter government or public service, even the private sector. They will go there and work honestly to ensure that they represent their country and represent their schools, their institutions they attend. But by that, I mean, they're going to remember all the things that you're teaching them at NEMOT, young political leadership. Let's join the Voice of America for 5 minutes of news. When we come back, we'll continue on more developments.
Families to a military base in the U.S. state of Virginia, pending approval of their cases and visas. The administration notified Congress on Monday that the Afghans will be temporarily housed at the Fort Lee Army Base south of the city of Richmond starting next week. The announcement comes amid growing concern for the safety of Afghans who served as translators and in other support roles for American troops and diplomats as the Biden administration is rapidly withdrawing U.S. forces from Afghanistan. The group is to be honored and housed at Fort Lee. It's just a small portion of the number of Afghans seeking refugee status in the United States. The Biden administration is blaming China for a hack of a Microsoft Exchange email server that compromised tens of thousands of computers around the world earlier in the year. The administration and allied nations on Monday also disclosed a broad range of other cyber threats from Beijing, including ransomware attacks from government-affiliated hackers that have targeted companies with demands for millions of dollars. A spokesperson for the Chinese embassy in Washington says in a statement that the U.S. has reportedly made groundless attacks and malicious smears against China on cybersecurity. She now calls the allegations just another old trick. There is more at voanews.com. Again, voanews.com. This is VOA News. U.S. President Joe Biden tempered his assessment that social media giants are killing people by hosting misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccines on their platform, saying Monday that he had hoped that they would not take it personally and instead would take it not to act on their own. While companies like Facebook defend their practices and say that they're helping people around the world access verified information about the shots, the White House says that they have not done enough to stop misinformation about the group and to slow the pace of new vaccinations in the U.S. to a trickle. It comes as the U.S. sees a rise in virus cases and deaths among those who have not gotten the shot. That's according to officials for an emergency pandemic of the unvaccinated. Canada is ready to reopen its side of the U.S. border. AP Washington correspondent Tim McGuire with details.
Canada's Health Minister, Patty Hajdu, tells CTV that the country will allow fully vaccinated U.S. citizens into the country starting August 9th and other fully vaccinated visitors on September 7th.
We intend to allow entry for fully vaccinated travelers from any country.
White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki was asked if the administration is working on plans to reopen the U.S. side of the northern border.
Any decisions about reopening travel will be guided by our public health and medical experts.
The U.S. Travel Association estimates that each month the border is closed to non-essential travel, it costs $1.5 billion. I'm Tim McGuire.
Prime Minister Ariel Henry will replace Haiti's interim leader to honor the wishes of the country's slain president. Get more from AP correspondent Charles de Ledesma.
It's not immediately clear how quickly interim Prime Minister Claude Joseph, who's been leading Haiti with the backing of the police and the military since the July 7 assassination of President Jovenel Moise, would step down. The change follows a statement on Saturday from a key group of international diplomats that appeared to snub Joseph, calling on Henry to form a government. Moise designated Henry as prime minister a day before he was killed, but he had not been sworn in at that point. I'm Charles de Ledesma.
And again, Prime Minister Ariel Henry is to replace Haiti's interim leader. More voanews.com via remote. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.
wake up, Mama Liberia, wake up, Mama Liberia, wake up, Mama Liberia. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. Liberia, oh Liberia, oh Liberia, wake up. In a pray. Oh, let us wake up, oh, wake up and do something. Oh, let us wake up. Try to set the time on the world and it's up. This is real fight. Doing it for y'all. I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody will say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, number one. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. 'Cause today is our day. Liberia now my country, now my motherland, land I be where them bomb me. That's why I started the hustling real bad. So if you don't know me, don't judge me. We don't want gunshots, we don't want po-po. All we want is equal rights and peace to make our dough. Liberia is you and me, Liberia is me and you. Let's live in harmony and peace who prevail. Do what is right and good and take our children back to school. Hard work and determination and we will fail. Economically, strategically, physically, we can make a difference automatically. Let's live in unity, all for one and one for all. I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody will say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, number one. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. 'Cause today is our day. How long will you cry? Tell me how long? Rise up, forget about the past. Is dead and gone. Don't hate your brother, for you're capable of doing wrong. All we have to do is join hands and sing this song. We are free, Liberia, we are free. Oh, no more war, forever we are free. One time with me, oh my baby, I live free. And now I say, oh, no, fire to my pa, remember. Oh, my God, are you ready? Oh, my God, are you ready? Independence Day, jump and shout hooray. Screwface, baby, I am proud to be a Liberian, and I don't care what anybody will say. I will jump and sing and shout hooray, 'cause today is our Independence Day. Liberia, oh our day. Liberia, we are free. Liberia, number one. Liberia, Liberia, our day. Liberia, we are free. 'Cause today is our day. Now people, today is your day. It's time to party. You know, time to shake that stress off. Forget about the past. It's dead and gone. Now sing with me. Let's go. Say whoa, whoa, say whoa, whoa, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. When I say screw, you say face. Screw, face. Screw, face. When I say screw, you say face. Screw, face. Screw, face. I tell you, Liberia, Liberia, say Liberia, Liberia, Monrovia, 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 Monrovia. Pimpini, 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 pimpini. That's what I'm talking about. Liberia, it's your day. Jump up, hey, put on some, hey, put on some, hey, put on some, hey, put on some, hey. Now what's your body, shake your body, shake your body. Now shake your body, shake your body. Aye, so bend down, oh, Liberia, bend down, oh, bend down, oh, Liberia, bend down, oh. Say put your hands up, put your hands up, free when the face I do Liberia. Oh, our day, Liberia. We are free, Liberia. No more war, Liberia. Liberia, our day, Liberia. We are free. Today is our day. Liberia, oh, our day, Liberia. We are free, Liberia. No more war, Liberia. Liberia, our day, Liberia. We are free.
And that's exactly what we are talking about. Liberia is our day, is our independence, and we all must be able to work together in ensuring that we celebrate this great Independence Day. This is straight from the heart on Sky 107.1. Like we said to you, we're going to be speaking with the youth chairman of the Alternative National Congress, Mr. James P. Morris. Jim joins us this morning, but we also assured you that we're going to be speaking with Lofa County former senator, not senator, but superintendent, Lofa County former superintendent. He's, by the way, the national chairman, Lofa Citizens in Solidarity with Senator-elect Samuka, that's Honorable Galekbai Kotimai. Galekbai Kotimai is going to be correct. He's correcting his name while he's on the line. And so, yeah, certainly, Galekbai Kotimai. Gotimai is on the line now from Lofa County to tell us about it while we are waiting the arrival of the youth wing chair of the Alternative National Congress in studio. Let's join on the line now, Mr. Galekbai Kotimai. Good morning, sir. Thanks for joining us on Straight from the Heart on Sky.
Good morning. How do you do? And welcome to the people of Liberia. And we are speaking from the heart of Lofa County, precisely around the forest belt of Luyema.
Luyema. What district is that?
Well, that is Zozo district, Ziema Clan.
Ziema Clan, Zozo district. Are you speaking to me from a remote village without,
that's where I got my farm. You know, when I hear this few times, so I came to revisit the farm to see what is happening, what's the progress. And there I am.
So how is Lofa? What's the atmosphere like?
Lofa is very cool and calm, and I think things are okay. And I think while the alternative youth will be coming, the supporter of Brandon Samuka presented a statement day before yesterday to the press of Lofa County, and then asking them that the certification of Honorable Brandon Samuka is paramount, and we are waiting as citizens of Lofa County that our senator be certificated so that he can come back and serve the people of Lofa County.
What's the difference between, the group that you are chairing, serving as national chairman of Lofa Citizens in Solidarity with Brandon Samuka and Friends of Samuka?
Well, the Friends of Samuka is the political auxiliary group that was formed during the campaign period. And then right after the campaign period when he won, and then when this case came out, that's how we came out as a movement to see how we can comply with the court ruling, to see whatever we can do, we as citizens of Lofa County, to help in soliciting some funding to help pay back this money. And so I became the national chairman for that group, and that's why we are. And up to present, I think we have made some significant payment towards the debt that the Supreme Court said we should pay.
Let's go back to some statements. Let's go back initially to some of the utterances made by citizens of Lofa County. Initially, when the government talked about this particular money in question, a lot of people made their own analysis that, well, Brandon Samuka did not eat this money, but yet Lofa County people spoke out boldly that they would have collected this money. Some of those who are in solidarity with Brandon Samuka, they would have collected this money in question. How much money have you collected now?
Well, I think from what I know of, as citizens of Lofa County, we have made 2 deposits with what I know of in Europe for a very long time. I think it's in the tune of $18,000 United States dollars that we have made as our initial contribution while we are waiting other collection that is being done in the diaspora and other areas in Lofa County. But I think it's a continual process because we got 6 months, and I think the 6 months will be ending next month, the 25th. And then I think we need to do whatever we can do to make sure we pay. But when we started paying this money, people started bringing all other things out and making the Supreme Court as a laughing stock. Because once the Supreme Court rule against something, I think that's the final decision that has been made. But when we look, prohibitions started coming out from government, from private individuals. That surprises every other thing, and it surprises even we, the citizens of local county, that where are we going? The Supreme Court has come up with a ruling that indeed this is the process that we should follow. Then somebody else is coming in, finding a prohibition, and then government-owned ministry, government arm, coming out again, defying the court authority, defying the Supreme Court. I think it's a laughable thing that we need to be careful with in Liberia.
Laughable thing, you say. Now, the people, some of you who said the citizens of Lofa who were collecting money on behalf of Brandon Samuka, you've collected $18,000. Isn't that a drop in an ocean?
Well, it's not a drop. I think when you look at those things, it's a celebration of Liberia. But indeed, this character is a distinct character, and we know that he did not consume the money. He acted upon order, and as work at the pleasure and will of the president. And so, if the president to do something and you go ahead and do that, there was misapplication. We agree, and that's what we said we should pay. Tantra is not for right alone, and that's what we are paying tomorrow. There's tomorrow that we come to this thing. So we are complying with every other thing. Our president, George Weah, he gave order to other ministers, other people, and they are executing that. Will they be held responsible tomorrow? In fact, he should have said no. No, I think in Liberia, we're not supposed to go that route. But saying it is going with Samuka in that route, that's why we as citizens have agreed to help to put in to see how we can pay. That's how it's dropping the ocean. That is a very great amount of share. And then later when God is in it, it's greater than anything.
Some of the narratives I've heard, Honorable Kotima, contrary to what you're saying to me this morning, are the people of Lofa County, those in solidarity with Brandon Samuka, have they threatened, by the way, any violent action that you can, attest to, sir?
Our character is a distinct character. He has been advancing, but I must admit, there was a plan to have shown the president at the time of his visit that indeed was to tell him that what is happening is not right. But again, because of our character, our principle, he advised that we should welcome the president, we should do everything normally so that we cannot obstruct any process in Lofa County. And we follow the procedure. But the way the case is going, that's why the youth have come up with, the friends of Samuka has come up with position in Zola District, in Ponjama, in Foya, and other parts of Lofa County. And I think tomorrow again, there will be a assembly because tomorrow the Supreme Court will be coming down with the China prohibition. I think they are also going to assemble to the court to show to the world that indeed we need our senator. We elected him, and that's the voice of the people and must be respected in Lofa County.
What are they saying? What are the friends of Samuka saying? What's their position?
Our position is that clear. The Supreme Court has given order, and we are implementing that order. Now, the man is a senator elect in Lofa County. He won overwhelmingly. So we are saying that our certification told the senator must be done, and let the man take his seat, and let him start to perform our duty. You cannot deprive us. We're going 6 months, almost 7 months, without representation, adequate representation and understanding. And we are saying that Lofa County, we will not be deprived. And there's no other thing that will ever happen that they will come and want to change our decision around. There's no way that you can change that decision around. I can stand and tell you, both from the 9 administrative districts of Lofa County, we're not going to accept any change here besides our senator to be certificated.
What are you sensing? Do you think there's some kind of political play that is currently ongoing?
There's a political play. And that's why when the president came here, he went in Foya, when our representative questioned him about Brandon Samuka, he said that was court matter. It was not court matter. It is the Minister of Justice that find prohibition. And he instructed the people to find a prohibition. The Solicitor General went out the way and pleasure of the president. And today the president tells him to withdraw the prohibition, it will be withdrawn. Sima Fima is not from Lofa County. He's a political figure. He found in that because of some connection with government. And we know all of these things are in place. But again, we don't want to hold that. We want to follow the due process of the law and let us see what it looks like. So tomorrow we are waiting for the prohibition to be handled by the Supreme Court bench.
Honorable Kotima, Mr. Samuka is asked to pay a certain amount within a period of 6 months. In the absence of that, it means he defaulted. What do you think will happen in between? Don't you think that he's going to be jailed by August?
Well, that's what we are saying. We contributed towards his support, and I think he's making all frantic effort to make sure that he comply with the 6-month period that the Supreme Court gave. The only reason why there's delay in the process is because the Supreme Court has reneged on her own decision. You cannot be a member of the decision and sign a document that this should happen. Then you leave it there again and go accept another petition that will come and then judge your own judgment that you made. So that confuses us. Justice Nambe was part of the bench when they signed the document that this man should pay 50% of the money in 6 months' time. Then all of a sudden, they signed a prohibition and then he sat over it and then started going through it again. Where are we going? You judge your own case, then you turn around and say, oh, the case was not judged. Then I don't know where, I don't know the bring we come from. I don't know where we are talking. So that surprises us. So again, we want to question the full bench to rethink on the first decision that they made. If the somersault, then we are citizens of Lofa County with somersault.
What do you mean by somersault? You got to explain that, sir. Would you mind, please?
No, I don't got to explain. Let it go ahead tomorrow. We'll be waiting for them tomorrow to see what they want to say.
Is that a threat to the state, to the court, to the government, or what?
It's not a threat to the state. It's a defiance of the Lofa people. And you cannot defy us, and then you think you will go free. We are citizens of this county. We constitute a good percentage of the population of this country. This country. And we elected our senator overwhelmingly with 20,000 plus votes. And I think we should enjoy the immunity that is happening. Right now, it is only Senator Zago that represents Lofa County. Where there's major decision that is supposed to be made, the full bench of Lofa County at the upper house is not being met. Where are we going?
Tell us about how Brownie Samuka is viewed in Lofa County. Though he won the election there,
Today, if Brownie Samuka got his Lofa County as being staff, he will be taking shoulder hard from district to district. I can tell you for free. Because I'm in the county, and I know what we are planning, and I know what we are doing. Even right after the prohibition, he's going to come for us to visit the county to tell the people thank you for their vote. Whether he's certificated now or not, he's going to go all over the district to tell the people thank you. So that's the plan I have made with him, and I think he has consulted to it.
You are a leader of that county. You are a former superintendent of Lofa County. To say that the people of Lofa County should not be tried, if they tried the people of Lofa County, they are going to act. Doesn't that sound like some elder inciting violence in Lofa County?
We're inciting violence. I think we took the street in Monrovia more than 3 different times. While the election commission, I headed that team, the election commission more than 3 different times. And we did not even water plastic. We did not throw it out at anybody. We accepted, and then we obeyed the police order, and we did everything. And from that time, from February up to present, we have been very obedient. And they say enough is enough. You cannot hold Lofa hostage because of your own selfish embarrassment. We got to make sure that our representation is felt at the upper house of Lofa County, at the upper house of Senate. We got to make sure that Lofa is fully represented. That's the fight we're on. It's not of any other thing. When the justice certificate our senator, we'll be happy and we'll work with them.
Have you heard anything about the other people who are also, were also indicted by Brownie Samuka, except Samuka alone that this morning has been talked about? All the time they've been visiting the court, have these other people been appearing? Have they been represented by their lawyers?
No. The prohibition is not only for those people. The 2 prohibitions that came out was for the election commission and that of Brownie Samuka. So the other 2 guys that were involved with Brownie Samuka had nothing to do with that. So they are planning their own activity because this funding was divided into 3 segments. And then our portion is what we are concerned about. And that's what we're fighting hard to make sure we pay.
I'm told that when the president visited Lofa County, the people of Lofa presented 3 options to him. Would you mind reminding us?
No. The option they presented We advise, and the leadership advised that they should not include, because all of the districts presented a statement that included Brownie Samuka issue. But the local authorities, because they are fear of the opposition being taken away from them, they told them not to read those statements, and most of the districts were not even allowed for the people to read the statement. And whatever that are in the minds of the people could not be heard because the citizens were not freely expressed, and then the chance were not given to the people to talk, and then they just came and wasted about $24 million. Liberty all over, and then that caused serious confusion in every district. There's confusion there because they said the $24 million was just for pleasure, jolly thing. I think this government should make something serious and start joking with the people of Liberia and giving them money.
The government took $24 million to Lofa County when the president visited for jolly business. Why do you people have more pressing issues in there?
Very well. You go to the clinic, there's no drugs at any of the clinic. Only paper they get you. Even sometimes you go, there's no covering at no clinic. Why you could not divide that money to those places? But again, that's the way of the government, and that's how they think the government can be functional. That's how they think the government can be loved. But we cannot question that. What we are questioning now is the certification of our leader so that he can serve us adequately.
If the outcome today from the court, from the Supreme Court, as you people are expected, tomorrow, by the way, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. If the action, whatever the outcome is going to be, is going to be at the Supreme Court, what do you think, if it doesn't go in the favor, in the interest of the people of Lofa like you that's speaking to me now, what's going to happen next?
Well, there will be another meeting and we'll take a course of action, but that cannot be turned out until tomorrow we hear what they are going to say. Right after that, there will be a massive meeting that will be conducted both in Monrovia and in Lofa County, and that decision will be made public.
Mr. Kotima, sorry, lastly, let me just, say this to you. Give us, a clear picture, atmosphere of the reaction when the issue of Samuka is discussed on local radios there. How do people react to this particular thing? What are some of the things that the people are saying in the very vernaculars, the Loma, the Gandhi, the Kisi?
The action is that everyone is saying that all over. You go on the talk, we say we want our senator to. If I call any of the station and ask them on the talk, in fact, just yesterday they go weekend. I think Saturday. They got to talk to you on the radio live call, Are You Aware? And all that Are You Aware program. Most of the callers they are concerned was banning Samuka. It was not about what they brought up, but there's jolly money and other things. It was about banning Samuka to be certificated. And all of them, that's the concern they are all showing. Both the elder, the women, the youth, and the traditional people. Because banning Samuka is a traditionalist. And I think that's what we all are opting for.
All right. Thank you so much, Honorable Kotima. Is there something else you would like to, tell the people here listening to us, listening to you now beyond Montserrado and other counties?
Well, I just want to wish the people of Liberia a happy 26. Even though I was not where I was in Guinea, I went for treatment, but thank God that I'm back and I'm on my feet and very strong and making sure that we all do everything in Liberia to make sure that every successful thing in Liberia is going on. And I think I want to say happy July 26th to all of the citizens of Liberia and any of our foreign partners and our supporters. We say welcome and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. He's the former superintendent of Lofa County, Galakbai Kotima. He joins us there from, a remote village there in Lofa, giving us information about the atmosphere in Lofa County and how people are reacting to the situation of Brownie Samuka. And as they await the final decision, another decision again from the court, the Supreme Court on, on tomorrow. Right now we have in studio Mr. James P. Morris. James Morris is the youth wing chair of the Alternative National Congress. Mr. Morris is in studio this morning to quickly, weigh in as a solidarity movement as well. The CPP youth wing has, demonstrated some level of concern to this particular Brownie Samuka situation, and they are all out engaging various media platforms to ensure that their voices are also heard, regarding this matter. Mr. Morris, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias, and I'd like to say.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm alive.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Good morning, Matthias, and I'd like to say thank you again for another opportunity to be aired on your radio.
Yeah,
it's a pleasure.
That's right. And with the limited time, we have this morning, we've already spoken with the former superintendent of Lofa County. Tell us about why is this development, though it borders around corruption according to the court, and so why are you people championing this particular thing regarding Brown Asamoah? Why not keep silent when you are a government in waiting and watch the way the government plays with this particular thing? What is your interest?
Well, Matthias, we've been to 1 or 2 different studios, and we've made our point as youth chairs of the collaborating political parties. And we've always told people that we are politicians. And so when we come to discuss, the issue of Samukai's case, we discuss it from a political perspective. And so that's why the Youth Congress of the collaborating political parties thought it wise to make a very strong political statement from our press conference last week.
Is this particular matter, is it a political judgment in your mind?
Yes, we think it is political. It is political because like you said, we've been silent, not because we thought to show weakness. We've been silent because we have given the opportunity to our legal team to abreast us with information as to what's unfolding with the case, and given the nature on how Justice Nangwe, the NEG, continue to politicize the entire Samukai's case. That's why the Youth Congress, from our intelligence arms, thought to make a statement politically to send out a caveat to the government of Liberia, specifically to the president and the full bench of the Supreme Court, asking them to depoliticize this matter and give the people of Lofa County the opportunity to be fully represented. Besides that, we also feel that the collaborating political parties' seats have been tampered with by this government. And so
seats have been tampered with?
Our seats have been tampered with by this government.
I hope you don't want to mention the Simeon Taylor thing, because the NEC continues to reaffirm its judgment, its ruling that Simeon Taylor is the winner. That has been also reaffirming.
Not just that, but they are also making another case to the Supreme Court, just as a means to.
But isn't that the right of another person to argue, to take appeal to the Supreme Court?
It's not their right. But what we're saying, politically, we understand that this is an attempt, like I said, to steal our seats. And so from the youth angle of the collaborating political parties, we are clear about this. We will not give a micro inch of breathing space to this government to steal a single seat from the collaborating political parties. This would be a step on democracy, especially when the people of Liberia have come up in their numbers to vote people of trust, to vote people that they think should represent them fully. And you come out to deny them the opportunity to serve their people. The young people of the city will strongly resist that. And that's where we come from. And that is the reasons we said that we are not discussing it from a legal perspective, but we are discussing it from a political perspective. Beyond that, I think our justices should not be people that should partisanize. I think Justice Nangwe is trying to partisanize the judicial system.
How so?
Country. Well, he thinks that his coup brother should be given the opportunity to be seen as a demon god in our country.
Why is it that Liberia is in a space where when things do not go our way, we think that the person who's acting in a way that things are not going our way because that person is trying to please, someone connected to them?
Matthias. I think you like to commend the youth congresses of the collaborating parties for the level of civility we have exhibited over the years.
But you don't have a choice. It's a legal matter. The matter is in court.
It's not a matter of choice. When the guys were in opposition, they had no choice. But they decided to be who they were. And
did they forcibly take a matter from the court and handle it their way? Is that what you're saying?
Are we taking it from the court?
But if you say somebody should commend you, you have no choice but to be tolerant because you are young people in leadership in waiting.
We are not taking matter from the court, right? We do not have the power to take matter from the court, but we have the power to make our voices heard and demand the court to do the right thing, and that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing.
How do you think this is going to provide a sudden shift? In what is happening now, regarding this Brandon Samoka thing? Now that the CPP Youth Congress have decided to speak.
Well, sometimes maybe our leaders don't get to understand the real nature of issues, and sometimes it is sentimentalized, and that's where they make some wrong decisions. So when they have come up to revisit their decision, I think it fall in line with best practices, and this is why we are telling them that given the investigation, given what we have gathered, there are all evidences that Samoka is not a criminal. There are all evidences that he has worked and served our country, and this is not the way to reward him for the services he has provided to our country. So we have to, if a personality like Honorable Samoka should not just be rewarded this way. He should even be rewarded and awarded with things from the Liberian people beyond just a seat of a senator. This man has served 12 years as a defense minister. Not a single day was he involved into corruption. Not a single day was he involved into any scandal. And you come up because he has won a seat in his country. You come up because you want to stop him from serving his people, and you just come up with some claim that he has done this, he has done that, so you deny him certification. I think this is a high level of ingratitude to a man who has provided his services to our country. And this is where we stand as young people of our country to say, no, we should not reward people who have served our country in this manner. And Samoka has worked for this country. He has served this country with honesty. He has served. The records are there for him. So we should be able to reward him. Even if we want to retire him, we retire him honorably, but not to bring him shame and not to make him, look in the public as somebody who has not done well for our country. So the Youth Congress is there for us. You listen to our press statement.
What are your basic, plan of action? Well, from the statement, tell us about other details.
Where we share, we will have unspecified political actions.
Unspecified political actions.
Unspecified political actions. So those actions will be detailed by our actions. Meaning
every time you take one action, that's one of the actions you promised.
So like we are speaking now, these are some of the political actions. We are making the comments. We are telling them. We are giving them the caveat. We are making our statements. We are also, reminding them that we have all of what it takes. All of the things that have got this case to where it is. We have come to a conclusion that Honorable Samoka is not a criminal and he should be certificated. And if our voices cannot be heard, again, you will see another action. And that action, that's why we call it unspecified. So we're not going to tell you what will be the action. But like I said, it will be detailed as we get along.
How relevant and even how relevant would action from an opposition political youth congress be to this particular Samoka case?
Well, I'm not sure you want to underestimate the strength of young people in our country.
It's not your strength. It's a system. This is like going against the system.
I'm not sure. You've read and you've seen history around the world. When the people are disenfranchised, when the people feel that their rights are stepped on, when the people feel that democracy is being thwarted, they take things into their hands because the people are the ones with the power. We empower them. We give them jobs. We make them our leader, and we can decide that this decision is not the right decision for our country, and they must listen. That's why they are our leaders, and this is what we will do. We're not going to be throwing stones or throwing casket on our heads. Trust me, the CPP Youth Congress is not involved into that. We are intelligent young people. We are responsible young people. We're not going to be involved into toting casket, chunking rag, or cussing the president or what may look at it. But we are going to take our unspecified political actions, and that actions will definitely lead to the certification of Honorable Brandon Samoka. For that we can be very assured of it.
Don't you think that this could further, even damping the chances of Brandon Samoka taking a seat in Lonte, given the position you people are giving? Because you guys are a political group of people, and like you said, you've already accused the court of being politically infiltrated, and now you're talking about your action going to lead to Brandon Samoka being certificated. There have been more comments coming from relevant individuals. I'm not saying your group is irrelevant to this particular discussion. I still don't get, the force, the actions on specific action and how your action goes out to Brandon Samoka being certificated. Or are you guys already seeing a light at the end of this long journey of Brandon Samoka's signing, and you just want to run on it to make it seem like you're the one that made it happen?
No, we're not. Matthias, you were in this country when the full bench presided over a case that illegally removed one of their own injustice cabinet Janet. The decision of that bench in coherence with legislature was being condemned by a higher court. Doesn't that sound, or doesn't it teach us that indeed our judicial system has some problem? Doesn't it tell you that indeed decisions from the judicial branch are sometimes questionable? Of course, yes. These are humans. We expect them to have errors, to make errors in life. Yes, they are all humans. We expect that there will be times that they will have some shortcomings. So to correct them should not be their decision, but it should be seen in the right direction. It should be the fact that we have seen some shortfall or some shortcoming, and we are trying to correct them. I always told people, Matthias, that there's something we call a blind spot. That is, you have something that you've never noticed in your life that is a shortcoming, but there are others who see it. You see it as part of your normal routine, your normal lifestyle, but somebody see it and they have to tell you, look, Matthias, I think this is not good, and you have to change this style and do it this way. And if you are a reasonable being, you will definitely, learn from it and move on the right track.
What are you implying?
So I'm trying to say that they are our leaders. They have had some blind spots.
You think they are making a mistake with this particular Samuka thing?
Not just that.
And is your action
in the
them?
entire judiciary, there are a lot of mistakes that they've made. So we think that as part of their blind spots, we can be able to call them to order. So look, even though you people are legally married, you have served our country, and we want to respect the decision we want to. And that's why for the record, that's why the CPP has not said that we do not respect their ruling, that Samuka should replenish whatever that they claim he took, right? The CPP respect that decision. He's going to replenish the money. But to deny him is where we stand. You can't deny the man who has won. So what we say, when we see these blind spots, of course, yes, we can tell them, I think this is a mistake. This is something we're seeing that is bringing more shame to our judicial system, not just in the country, but internationally. I think we need to correct this.
Are you guys taking into consideration that Brandon Samuka has a responsibility, along with his, corporates, co-corporates, to pay half of $1.4 million in the period of 6 months?
They are making
if that does not happen, Mr. Samuka, whether certificated or not, could be jailed by the court.
Well, there are efforts already made towards that.
$18,000, I'm told.
The citizens,
that the people of Luvakan have some of the supporters of Samuka
I'm told it's around 25,000, but they are making frantic efforts towards that, right? They're making frantic efforts towards that. So it tells you that the decision of the court has not been thwarted. The only area where we have the issue is to deny him certification. That's where we have problem. When did they say that? Because Samuka has been, accused and verdict come up that he's found guilty and should replenish whatever fund they claim he might have taken. So, we're not saying he's not going to pay the money. The man has not said that. In fact, Honorable Samuka has not even come up to make any statement, because he's a very trained soldier. He's a man who passed through the ranks of fire of the army, and he understands the issue of where to talk and how to talk. So he has
when
not
to
been,
talk as well.
Yeah, he really hasn't been involved with much talking on this case. But yes, he's concording with the ruling of the court that he must replenish the money. So he's doing that. He's not sitting. Even if you are being told that or found guilty of $10,000 and you make a thing of $100 or $200, it tells that you are showing remorse. That this thing I did or this thing I'm accused of, I want to make some attempts. To get this thing right. And that's what he's doing. He should even be commended for that. The people of Lofa should be commended. But to have this government denying him his certification, that's where we stand as young people. We say no. That means their decision is political. They are not denying him because he's willfully, paying their claim fund that he said he took. He's paying the fund. So why deny him? Why deny him? We can't deny the man. So the Youth Congress of the CPP, we are clear. We don't care what the perception of others will be. For us, our protection is democracy. We want to protect democracy. We want to make sure that our democratic rights are not stepped on. We want to make sure that we have a society where oppositions can have a clear view of how they understand the governance of our state, and even people who govern us can also have a clear opportunity to state on how the governance of the state is moving. So if we have such an environment. It gave us a free will to express. This government is not giving us that free will.
Well,
it's not good for us.
Man, James, you just listen to the former superintendent. He made mention of the fact that in the midst of many challenges that the people of Lofa County are faced with, the president visited Lofa, and give the people some 24 million Liberian dollars for jolly, yeah, for enjoyment. In the face of
the president has always been a jolly man. So yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, I think, especially given the current situation of our country, I wouldn't want to use any harsh word, but I think that sounds so absurd, for a leader of a country. Do you know how many young people in our country are underprivileged to go to school? Do you know how many hospitals in Lofa County need medical supplies? The current Lutheran hospital in Lofa County, there were times that they went out of medical supplies. There were times they could not even pay their staffers. Who came to their aid? It was Mr. Cummings who went there and paid staffers and even bought fuel for the generator. And you got one president who goes there to show some form of flamboyancy and gave 24 million Liberian dollars. Do you know how many thousands of US is that? Do you know how many lives can be transformed? Do you know how many hospitals, how many people or family in that county that can be able to transform their lives through macro loans and other activities from that fund? And you give it for people to go drink beer. And I don't even think that, such a place will have beer. Maybe
I listened to the former superintendent. The former superintendent said, "Well,
they call themselves."
Yeah, James. The former superintendent said, "Well, immediately the money entered, the people had a lot of issues to present to the president, such as the issue of Brownie Samuka certification and all of that. But the elders sat down and said, no, we have to watch this thing. We don't want some of our brothers who are appointed in government to, lose their jobs. So the people concluded on the fact that let's present something softer to the president rather than us presenting something harsh that may, annoy him. That's why,
why should a man lose his job? Because the president made some political mistakes, or the governance of the state is not right, and you speak about it. I always told people this is why this government continues to create more enemies for itself, than the enemies even going against them. Look, I like to give this as a testimony of my own life. I used to work at Youth and Sport, right? I work at Youth and Sport.
On which regime?
On this regime, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I used to work at Youth and Sport. I was taken there by the assistant minister for administration, Faminta Brishwell, right? She knew that I had never been a seditious, right? And I've worked with her for a couple of times. And because I've been approached on several occasions to join the CDC, and I could not join, because on several times I spoke and wrote on social media that the government, especially on the 16 billion issue that took place in our country, and I made some harsh statement that we will go to the bottom of this case. Imagine I worked for 2 months at Youth and Sport and was taken off payroll without being told.
Are you providing us a factual information? Remember, you are straight from the heart.
I'm on radio. I work with Youth and Sport. I was taken off payroll for 2 months without being told that I'm off payroll. The minister, who is my own sister, I made an attempt to even visit her to have consultation with her on this issue. The office that I usually go to, every time I make an attempt to even see her.
She probably got a fed that she could lose her job.
So should this be considered a safe environment? Should this be considered a democracy that people should respect? This is where we come from. So how can you say? I don't want to enter. How can you say the adults? I'm trying to lay a premise. How can the adults who know that their county is being affected by the decision of the government wants to approach other people about this issue and says, no, we should not approach them, we should not tell them, because if we do, they will lose their jobs? I think this is not right for our country. This is not good for us.
Martin Weimar Browns said Luyema is where they had the logging company Alco. I lived on the Alco camp many years ago. Yeah, Martin, you remember exactly where the former superintendent spoke to us from this morning. Ibrahim Political Modri Setu is watching. Hilton Wula Jedo is watching. Honorable Henry Sefa is watching. He's watching us from Abuja, Nigeria. Lawrence M. Bowen is also following. Robin Kane is following from Gardnersville. Mustafa Sherman is watching from his Books Before Boys office on Front Street. Bob N. Williams is also watching from GSA Road. Morris Gator is watching from Abraham Bamuya Corner Avenue. That Albert Blaise Bohauer is watching from District 12. David E. Harris is watching from Ken Johnson Road. Yes, the list goes on. So let's quickly hear from you briefly. As we wrap up, we have 9 minutes to go. Call us on the numbers 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223, 0777 221 223, 0777 221 223. Are the numbers you can call us on to participate. 0777 777 107. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Please be brief. Let's go on.
Yes, I'm Lawrence Kimaya, speaking from Ben Street, Snapper Hill.
Mr. Kimaya, please go ahead.
I think you both have to work on the echo in the radio system because sometimes we don't have a feedback. I think the technicians will have to work. But on the issue, I think the Samka case, I think if our near president I would tell him just to authorize the NEC to have him certificated because I think he wants to get back in 2023. I think he needs voting from every county. He needs voting from Lofa and elsewhere. I think this case about Samuka, if Abu Kamara sat down, that means that Samuka can sit down and pay. This is about debt management. And my own problem about Elena, the former president Elena instructed the idea about that money. I had not been caught up in the page. Only Samuka alone, because he didn't join CDC, I think we should not be selective. I think, President, I'm telling you on this radio medium, I think you should authorize the NEC to certificate Samuka. If you did that for Abu Kamara, you can do it to him too, because it's like you lost only Abu Kamara, you don't lose Samuka. That's the way we want to understand. And you are leader of all.
Okay.
So you must do that in this meeting, and you want vote from local. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kimayan. Let's move on to this other person. Call us in the numbers 0777 777 107, 0777 221 223. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mata.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you. This is Abu Rab from Bomi County.
Let's hear you, sir, from Bomi.
Yeah, thank you. Let me comment your studio guest. Let me comment the former superintendent of Lopa County. Mata, the former superintendent Poli right. The president in Bomi County is $5 million. Mata can phone Maka district. Can't see the road, but we can't get to Bubata Addington Junction. Can't see how many cars park in a mud. Tell the person of going to tell the motor, they put in the carry back. Nothing happened. The person from like I did not 50 classroom for our community college. Nothing. You bring local communication said nothing. Everything person from me going into the doors thing. They said bring our money, they share it. People people fraud and package. Nothing. Now even go to the government hospital here in Tomabé. They will give you people to go back out Satomo. And let me say, they Bani Samka case, Mr. Person do not have trust in the case. In Bani Samka is the trust of the people of Lofa County. You know, because the personal support is so you can be certificated.
Okay.
After the time, the court the person to pay them and they made to pay the money. If they not pay the money, the law can take his course. But let me be certificated. And let's still get fully right. Joseph Namita because you want to do the whole court better because of travel land. It's not fair to this country, my people. The government will pass away. And we all will will be in this country. Somebody will not have faith in this country. Thank you, Matia, for the opportunity to give me the money.
Thanks for the contribution as well. Maybe we can squeeze in one more person and wrap up with Mr. James P. Morris, who's James Morris, by the way, is the youth wing chair of the Alternative National Congress. We earlier spoke with the former superintendent of Lofa County, Galakpai Kotima. Let's hear from this person. Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Yeah, good morning, sir. Good morning. You are live. Hello. All right. Right, we need to check that line. Let's move on to this other person. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, man.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you. All right, that person left the line. So yeah, let's wrap up with Mr. Morris here this morning. I just want to say that today at 9 o'clock, the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Ali Krai, will deliver his this year's Eid Khutbat, which is today, Tuesday. And he's going to be speaking at the Central Mosque on Benson Street, Morovia. inshallah, he will preach on the topic, a day of sacrifice in the bleeding nation. Is Liberia actually bleeding? Can we squeeze in that person on the line? Yeah, let's take that person. Good morning. All right. Yeah. Is Liberia actually bleeding? So coming out at 9 o'clock, he's going to be speaking there. I hope you can make a stop by and listen to the speakers there and hear what exactly the chief imam is going to be saying. We have somebody on the line. Let's talk to this last person. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I'm Paul.
You say your name is?
Paul.
Go ahead.
Yeah, most of them in this country. Yeah. You know, all over country, I want to add that.
You say the question? What you say? What's the question? What's the question?
The people from local countries. They have brothers and sisters here.
What does that mean?
Because sometimes we gotta speak reality. Government had an issue with God, taking money for the air for money. And they've been going through this and they find him. Government refused to pay the money. Pouring the money up to themselves that delay the money, delay 30. Then we are coming on every money. You're not getting what I'm going to put here. The other money is
okay. Thank you so much. Thanks. All right. Thanks for your contribution. People's reaction to developments, we cannot take that person now. We have to wrap up with Mr. Morris. People's reaction to issues based on, the way they understand them. I understand, sir. Thank you, Mr. Morris. Quickly.
Yeah. So again,
Mr. Morris is off mic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So thank you again, Matthias. I wouldn't want to dive into your next guest discussion, but I heard you asking whether Liberia is bleeding. Liberia is not bleeding. Liberia is dying. Liberia is dying.
He's not actually going to be here. I'm just trying to remind the public what exactly he's going to be, Liberia, speaking on today at the
Liberia is dying, and I'm sure he will concur with that. Now, to the issue of this Samuka issue, my concluding statement will be on 3 things. The first thing is that during the transition process of President Weah and Madam Sirleaf, President-elect Weah and Madam Sirleaf at the time, the former president by then, before turning over to President Weah, has called him and discussed this issue of the AFL money to the incoming president. And there were all those sheets that were presented to him about how this money was expended, right, with the presence of the then defense minister, Mbanu Samuka. Now, President Weah, knowing fully well and understanding the nature of this case, told Madam Sirleaf that he and his government was going to take care of whatever financial issues that were at hand with the AFL. It was on this basis that when he took over in January, that they made the first payment as a government. The government of Liberia made about 460,000 of this money, right? That tells you that in the minds of the president, they are knowledgeable of this fund that indeed Honorable Samuka did his student. Beyond that, the reasons why this case is at this nature, because Honorable Samuka was being approached to run on the CDC, and because he refused to run on the CDC, that's why he's
that is still an unconfirmed information.
Of course it is. That's why he's been. Look, if this man has agreed to run on the CDC today, he wouldn't have been running all around here. Lastly, I can assure the people of Lofa County and the young people of the CPP that our senator will be certificated. We can assure them that there will be no thwarting of the decision by anyone in this country. Honorable Samuka will be certificated, and he will be a senator of Lofa County and a senator of the CPP. I'd like to lastly say happy Abraham Day to all of my Muslim brothers and friends, all of our sisters and brothers from the Muslim angle, and I also like to say happy Abraham Day to all members of the collaborating political party, the CPP. Thank you so much for affording me another opportunity to sit in your studio. Thank you so much.
Thank you, James. You're always welcome. You're listening. Finally, let me say that's all the time we have for today's edition of the program, Straight from the Heart. Our motivational messages from Kevin Miller. And Kevin Miller is saying sometimes we must decide between feeding our immediate appetite or fueling our overall wellness. What's your choice? You choose. I'm Matthias Labinde.